everyone, hey and welcome back to yet another episode of Battle Rap Resume. This is your host Tom Quee. Thank you so much for joining me. Please follow us at Battle Rap Resume. Going to jump right into it there. Please follow us at Battle Rap Resume. Please email me, battleresume@gmail.com. Get in touch with the show. You can also comment below, of course. Tag your comments. Ask Battle Rap Resume if you want me to answer them on the show as well. Ask Battle Rap Resume is this kind of thing where I pretty much answered all the emails now, so I'm just answering comments that people leave. Always really, really fun to do. Please subscribe as well as whatever platform you listen on, or, whether it be iTunes or on YouTube or all that good stuff. We have the Patreon as well, of course. Episodes like this, pretty much everything, as I say, that goes onto the channel goes onto the Patreon first. So if you want to support the show, $1.50 a month, not much to ask, £1 a month, and you get access to pretty much all the premium content. You want to donate a little bit more, you get access to Battle Resume episodes weeks, months before they come out. But yeah, I'm really excited to get into my guests. And just before I do, it's probably worth a little bit of an introduction, because a common complaint against battle rap and URL to a certain extent, majoritively, but battle rap in general, is it's too fucking long. People don't understand how I can sit down and, hundreds of thousands can sit down and watch half an hour of effectively competitive punning. But, I find it fascinating. Of course I do. But, a lot of people kind of roll their eyes at that. They don't understand that. And my guest today, he really is doing God's work. It's unbelievable. Bar God's work, I should say. He is cutting up battles, reducing them to pretty much their pure rounds, taking out the gas, which is what we need in a lot of URL. It's Evan, it's Dr. Jaffa. How's it going, man?
Hey, what's up?
It's good to have you, man. And I was walking back before we did this episode, just back from work, and I was thinking, God, is this the most meta episode ever? Having someone who just edits battles to be shorter. But it's good to have you on, man.
Yeah, I'm really excited. I've been catching up on my Battle Rap Resume. I listened to the Thesaurus episode over the course of 3 days.
Yeah.
But I really like the podcast, so I'm excited to be here.
Yeah, thank you, man. Thank you. Because, as I say, I think I discovered you through Reddit. I think, people would sort of maybe, actually, how did this start? How did you start, editing these battles?
Yeah, so I participate on the Rap Battles subreddit. Mm-hmm. So people, that's where I find most of the battles, and you comment on it. And I basically suggested, I edit. I was thinking, I think I could probably do this. I could probably cut out all the unnecessary crowd reaction. And so I commented saying, would people be interested in this? Mm-hmm. And everyone was like, yeah, that'd be really awesome. So I went for it. I think I did Mike P versus Daylight and JC versus Chef Trez the first couple days, and it got a really good response, and people were just really excited. So yeah, that was really how it started. People showed an interest in it, and I figured that there was a reason to continue doing it.
And one of the things that's so crazy, obviously if someone hasn't watched your videos, basically, as I say, you're taking out all of the excess reaction to get to the point where it's going to the meat and bones of it. And some of the comparisons are hilarious. You look at Big Cannon versus JC, for example. It's 25 minutes you're taking out. Crazy.
Yeah, so I think normally it's a little over half I take out. Yeah. Especially with URL, where they have about 7 minutes of ads and previews at the beginning. So I don't exactly remember how long the finished one is. I think it's probably under half an hour, but the Saga versus Chess is an hour and 9 minutes long. Jeez. And the finished one was, I don't know, it probably was around 30 minutes.
And talk to me about the process. Is it? Because you edit it with quite a lot of class, really. I must say, there's fade in, fade out. It's not.
Thank you.
It's kind of. You could do it quite haphazardly if you wanted to. You know what I mean? You could literally just kind of do quite ugly cuts, but there's a certain a cinematic quality that I really respect.
Yeah, thank you so much. I just checked. The Saga versus Chess went from an hour and 9 minutes to 29 minutes, so that was probably the biggest cut. But yeah, I was really excited about that one. So the question was, how did the process go? Yeah, there's actually another guy who does this, compilations with 2 Z's, right, or 2 Z's. Sorry, I don't know. Language barrier. But yeah, he does it, and it's a very choppy cut, and you can sort of tell, and it's jarring. But the trick what I try to think about is, do it so you don't notice when there's a cut. And sometimes you get to, especially with battles that are high production quality. So Rum Nitty versus Av is one where there are a lot of situations where they're cutting in between cameras enough that I can fade the audio in one place and cut the video at a different time, so the audio continues, but it matches up with the voice, and so you don't really notice that there's a cut there. And I've always had this. I've been editing for 5 years or so. I got really serious the last couple months with an editing class in college, and I produce music as well. So audio editing is it's something I have a lot of practice with.
Sure. And
you just, or I particularly really want things to be high production value, you know, so I don't think I would be able to do this if I wasn't spending, 3 hours on it, like trying to make sure everything sounds as good as possible.
Yeah, and as I say, some of the edits are seamless. I was watching your Joe edit just for Win on Air, and because I guess a lot of the time with the bars, like, you'll get a haymaker, the crowd will go mad, and then you'll have to roll it back 4 bars to get the build up. So I'm guessing you're editing from the second rendition of the bar a lot of the time, or?
Yeah, it changes depending on how the battler delivers it. So sometimes I think for the most part, it's you get to where the crowd interrupts them, and then you just cut to the next time that they're at that. And so it just goes straight forward. So you're getting the first time that they say that. But sometimes if they continue with the same level of the same intonation, because someone like Chess will do it the second time, but they'll do it kind of annoyed that they got cut off.
Yeah.
So someone like Mike P, for example, and I think Joe does this, where they do it as well the second time. I just use that because it's easier. You don't have to make as many cuts, and you get the full experience anyway.
And roughly how long does it take? I mean, I guess off the top of my head, a few hours, is it, per battle?
Yeah, depending on how long it is. So Souls Rounds versus Raptor, I did that because that's half a battle. I did that on the bus ride from where I live to Boston, which is like a 2-hour bus ride. And otherwise, it's about, I've never timed it. It's probably around 2 to 3 hours if I'm, from beginning to end. And then it's like another hour to export. But I've tried to figure out ways to make it go quicker. But a lot of the times I might spend 10 minutes just doing a completely unnecessary edit that is just fun for me. Right. So I actually wrote a song for Lux versus Clips, but that one got taken down. But I composed a song real quick and just put that over whenever they were arguing about something dumb. Like they spend 7 minutes arguing over the coin flip, so I just sped that up and did a little song over it. So,
and you say getting taken down there, and I did want to ask actually, because similar to the Watch series, Avocado's Watch series, there could be an argument made, and looking at say Lux Calico, which has 5,000 views on your channel, Conceited B Magic 2,000 views, you're kind of taking views away to a certain extent.
Yeah, I think that's definitely arguable, which is one of the reasons I try to avoid. Someone actually asked me to do a battle that had maybe 5 to 10,000 views, and I saw that, and I'm just not going to do that because I don't want to take views away from somewhere where it's going to have some sort of impact. But Loaded Lux versus Calico, everyone who's going to see it has already seen it. Except for people who are coming into battle rap, and they're obviously not going to see my version first. Yeah. And they shouldn't, because it's such an important battle that you should get that first experience. And I think I would always encourage people to watch the original battle first. And then anytime they want to go back and see, okay, what did they actually say? That's when they should use my versions. But I have my own arguments and understandings of fair use in the United States, which YouTube doesn't care about. But, I've taken some media law classes, so I have a pretty good understanding of how you can use copyrighted content. And my point of view is that not only am I providing this service for people who like battle rap, but it's also, in my eyes, a critique of Smack URL's production. The fact that they feel comfortable putting out battles where, I get it, you want to have the full experience, but they started putting commercials in between them, which was like, that just seems completely unnecessary. They don't really care if the people who are watching them are getting a really enjoyable experience. They're saying people are gonna watch this because this is the only way they're going to see this content. And I don't really think that that's a particularly good way to handle it. And so I think what I'm doing is fair from a sort of Robin Hood perspective, but I think it's kind of legally sound.
No, definitely. And, like you say, the subtle critique of kind of modern battle rap just by looking at your channel is so interesting. And I think it's so needed as well. Like, it's such a great thing you're doing. And you mentioned Soul before, and I think it is quite funny that there's been no Don't Flop so far. And I was trying to think at work today, could all rap cuts, I can't really think of any Don't Flop. Obviously the Soul one's a bit different because you did Soul's rounds, but I can't think of like a gas fest on, like, say, a fucking Rum Nitty Av level that of Don't Flop that needs it, to be honest.
I think maybe I'm only just thinking about this now. Maybe Soul versus Real Deal, but that's still manageable.
Yeah, there's like half an hour, isn't it? It's quite
It's the same reason why I don't really do a lot of KOTD battles. I might actually have to do a couple of the Mass 3 ones.
Right.
But for the most part, I think someone actually suggested that I do Disaster versus DNA, which is over an hour long.
Yeah.
But I'm not doing that battle. Like, it's just, I don't want to watch that.
And isn't it like, it's like multiple rounds, isn't it? So it's a bit different. It's kind of, I guess you could do, I'm thinking like Iron Solomon Mook, which again is 5 rounds. So again, It's like, is that just long because of the actual structure? Is that the idea? And I mean, what does your slate look like? Like, do you have battles that you're like, I've got to get to this one, or?
Well, I ask every so often, and people will give suggestions of what they want. So I've got just like this little note on my computer, battles to edit. So what I have in Premiere right now is Rum Nitty versus Ill Will. So that's going to be the next one.
Right.
So people have suggested Young Cannon versus Danny Myers, Dougie and Snake Eyes versus Jackboy and Ryda, Hitman versus Verb, Jazz versus Official, and JC versus Chilla. So that's the only stuff that I have lined up right now.
JC versus Chilla, I don't like. There's gas in that, but not much. I think it makes the battle almost like the crowd reactions. To be honest, that's one of my all-time favorite battles. That is, and I don't remember the crowd going crazy. Like it just makes me cringe sometimes. Like I just did a series with.
It's only 30. It's 27 minutes. No, I'm not going to do that one. I'll take that one off the list.
It's just like there is a certain tendency within the URL crowds that does kind of. I can't really stand it to a certain level where Mike P versus New Jersey Twerk. Okay battle, not a bad battle. I just reviewed it with Crafty recently. But it's like when Mike P's like, you remember the movie Get Out? And then there's like 40 seconds of crowd reaction. It's like, I remember it. Where's the bar?
Also, it seems kind of, I don't know what people are expecting. I personally think no one's ever going to write a better Get Out bar than Joe's versus Holmes. It's perfect. Yeah. No one's ever going to do that better. So,
I agree. But I want to urge people, who are listening, check out All Rap Cuts. You are really doing the God's work. But I mean, more broadly for you, I guess, battle rap. Where does it start? How did you get into it?
Yeah, so my friend who was big into underground hip hop and all that introduced me to cannabis when we were in high school.
Right.
Not the drug, the rapper. And so we also he watched some battle rap around that time. So he showed me some disaster battles, and I was like, oh, this is a really interesting thing. We bought the Vendetta pay-per-view, Cannabis versus Disaster. Yeah. So the only battle I remember is that because it's an astounding battle. It is landmark, not necessarily from quality, but just, it's so interesting. And I remember Daylight versus Rich Dollars. That is a great battle. I don't even know if I've gone back and watched it since then, but I remember watching that live. And then I think there's maybe a period of like 4 years where I didn't really follow battle rap at all. And then maybe when Roan's third round versus Big T went viral.
Right,
I saw that and I was like, oh, I remember battle rap. So I started like watching compilations, Minnesota Luke videos as well. That's another guy. Credit to the culture.
Oh my God, yeah, no,
he's fantastic.
Yeah. Luke has agreed to be on the show. It is going to happen. That definitely needs to
That's
go down.
awesome.
And the same way, that friends at high school or Minnesota Luke, I think all rap cuts could be, a big gateway drug for a lot of people. Especially with URL, I have a lot of friends who are deeply, at the end of every single Battle Rap Resume episode, I ask, what is your favorite URL battle? And I reckon 50% of people go, oh, I don't really, it's a bit long and stuff. But if you give them Lux versus Calico and it's the same length as Soul versus, Most Prob or whatever, how can you refuse?
Yeah, I think that's really that's fair, and I know actually Avocado had said that he doesn't like URL battles because they're too long, or I heard someone say that he said that, and so they watched my cut of Rum Nitty versus Av on the Ruin Your Day watch.
Oh, did they? They watched this? Oh, that's so cool! I didn't realize they actually.
So excited! Yeah, someone from the subreddit, messaged me and was like, they're watching your battle right now, and so that's I haven't been doing this for so long, but I already feel like I have in some ways interacted with people at the premier point of the culture. I mean, evidence, I'm on Battle Rap Resume, which is like, I've never been on a podcast before, but it's the kind of thing that I've been dreaming about for a long time. I'm a big podcast fan. So.
No, it's great to have you on, and that is such a cool kind of cross, but it makes sense. It makes perfect sense for what they're doing, really, because they are pausing and reacting, and it's kind of, you can't really react to reactions. Yeah. So it's
I would say that if I can get people to appreciate battlers like Rum Nitty, because it's the sort of thing where you can't sit down and say, hey, we're going to watch this 50-minute long video. It's just not going to happen.
Yeah, you definitely can't kind of throw it on there. But and what future plans? I mean, channel's been around for about 2 months now. 12 battles have been uploaded, so the productivity is there. Are you kind of continuing to go on this path, or?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think as long as I can keep forwarding Premiere Pro, which is like $30 a month, so it's kind of actually one of the guys from the subreddit, Sci-Fi Guy 108, he actually PayPal'd me $60 so I could afford it for 2 months, which that's actually fantastic. So if you see my title intro, I shout him out. He's a cool dude.
That's crazy. That's great. I mean, a lot of battle rap ventures, including myself, Ruin Your Day, Counterproductive, we all use Patreon. It's a brilliant service. Like, I think if you put it at the top of your video, you definitely get some money towards it.
Yeah, I think I'd be open to that. I think I might want to wait on it for a little more, just have a little more content and more time for people to know who I am. But I was definitely thinking about that. It would be fantastic. But yeah, until further notice, I just want to keep editing battles because it's a lot of fun. And, I've got competition, people who are doing their own versions of what I do, and I think I have to every so often, I'll interact with the guy who does it, and he's like, I'm not an editor, I just do it because I think it's necessary. And so I sort of think, that's my point of view as well, but I want to give people the best product possible. So it sort of inspires me to go to the next level.
Yeah, I'm on Compilation Z's channel at the moment. I do actually subscribe to the guy, and his is bars only. That's his moniker there. I haven't actually
not as catchy of a name. I think.
And God, okay, he has like 2-hour compilations of battlers. I'm guessing all their rounds. I need to check. Some of these I actually need to check out. Not to give him promo. Obviously, All Rap Cuts is the Battle Rap Resume endorsed, abridgment of battle rap. But no doubt.
I would say, 100% check out his compilations. I've seen those before he started doing that. I think he does. I think that's a really cool thing. Just stitch together everyone's great rounds from great battlers.
Yeah. I mean, I mentioned this to Soul before when I had him on the show. There is a video, Soul All Rounds, which is quite out of date now, but it basically was the first 4 years of Soul. And I used to love watching it. I used to have it on all the time. And it's so cool to just see not only battle rap, but the battler and his writing grow over time, like, before your eyes. Like, it's quite a unique thing.
Yeah, it's really awesome. And I was thinking, how long is I was actually I was listening to your recap of the title match with Shocks while I was making breakfast today. How long is that battle? That one probably wouldn't need the treatment, would it?
No, I don't think so. No, let's have a look here. How long is that? It's 38 minutes. But the battle doesn't kick in until it's about 36 minutes or so. Oh no, there's judging as well. So all in all, the battle's about half an hour. So no, I think I don't think there's a Don't Flop battle out there worthy of your talents. To be honest, I just don't. I think that I know I'm biased. I know I'm a Brit.
Right. Yeah.
But I think Don't Flop's the best crowd in the world. I think we have the best comprehension and we have the best respect and reactions.
I can definitely see that. I think KOTD has this weird sort of
they're kind of spoiled
relationship. Yeah. So sometimes the mass crowd is really good, but the blackout crowd not always that consistent. Same with World Domination. Like sometimes it's really good, but they have a lot of variance. URL, it's kind of just people are there to hear great stuff, and when they do, they go crazy. But they also go crazy when something I've been talking about lately with some of the people who are into battle rap that I know. Goods got a Don DeMarco for telling T-Top that he thinks he looks like his bed stinks.
Yep.
And I was just like, URL crowd, what are you doing? What's going on where you are reacting so heavily to that? And I think there's sort of this issue with the production quality standard for live events. And I actually am close enough to Mass to go to. I could have gone to Mass 3, but I was just not. I'd seen nothing that showed that it would be an enjoyable experience to be there as a fan. And I think the same thing happens with URL crowds. So when they're actually in a battle, they are just so excited that they go crazy. And I think there's sort of a relationship between that, because if you were to give people this content, when they expected it, there would probably be less of this reaction sort of thing.
Interesting. Yeah. And, so have you been to any events at all?
I haven't. I've probably not really been into battle rap long enough to, but I also don't really like standing for long periods of time, so I don't think I could do it.
Yeah, it's a long. I was saying this to Crafty recently. It is a long ordeal. Like us at Don't Flop, where it's not too bad, but you get these like gnome events where you've got a queue for an hour, and then there's an hour. The battles are an hour. And there's an hour between, and it's like still they can just go absolutely hype. But no, this has been great, man. This has been very enlightening chat with you. And again, I want to urge everyone to listening not only to subscribe to All Rap Cuts and listen to all the stuff, but comment below what battles do you feel are majorly gassed and that Evan would do a good job chopping up. Yeah,
more content for me to do. That's always nice.
But is there any other projects you have outside of this? Anything you'd like to promo on the channel or?
Oh, yeah, actually, I'm a musician as well. So I released an album a couple months ago.
Oh, wow, awesome.
Yeah, it's not rap related. I could rap if I wanted to, but it's not. I don't really have anything to say through rap that I couldn't say, when I have the right motivation. But yeah. I have an album under Evan DM, EVAN space DIEM. And it's available at evandm.bandcamp.com. And you can also find it on Spotify and iTunes. And you can actually Shazam it as well, which is really interesting. You can, if you hear one of my songs, you could ask Siri what it is and it'll come up. So that's always really exciting.
And that is Narcissus, is that right?
Yes, it is. And I'm super happy with it. It's, you go.
No, how would you? I mean, I appreciate it's your art. You don't want to pigeonhole it, but the elevator pitch. What sort of genre is it?
I would say that it's acoustic guitar based and then built around. So the way that I write songs is it's just me writing with the acoustic guitar. I come up with a melody, and then I put that into my recording software, and then I write a bass line. I write, if it needs piano, I'll write that, electric guitar, and then my friend records drums on it. And so it's sort of built off of this very basic format into a more complete picture of sound, if I had to put it as pretentiously as possible. But I would say it's basically just self-produced indie rock.
All right, awesome. Yeah, I'll pop the link in the description anyway. People can check that out as well. But Evan, this has been a pleasure, man. Thank you for coming on, bro.
Oh yeah, it was a lot of fun. Yeah. I want to keep talking, but let's keep it nice and tight. Yeah. That's how I like my content to be. Yeah. Under 30 minutes. That's what I want. So
yeah, and I'll just wrap up as I always do. Obviously follow us at battlerapresume. We've got the Patreon as well. Email us, comment below. Check out All Rap Cuts. Seriously, the work you're doing is brilliant. But Evan, again, man, thank you so much.
Thank you so much. And people feel free to message me if you want my PayPal, so you can send me some money to afford to keep doing this. That'd be awesome.